Anthony from 95.5.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
So tell them about your TikTok so they can follow you.
Yeah, follow me on TikTok at Sean Anthony Live. It's new, a couple months old. I don't have many followers, but we're trying to get that up. SEAN. Spell my name right, please. Sean Anthony Live.
Sean Anthony. He say it from me.
Live.
Yes.
He wants you know.
No, he'll block you if you don't do it right. No, I'm playing. So, yeah, we're here. He's one of my mentors, and he's my boss, one of my bosses. And, yeah, this is what we do.
So
WUDG.
So we're here having a conversation, just getting to know him. So, we were talking about the career and your start and your growing up. So you had said that you always knew this was something that you wanted to do. So when exactly did you know that this was the career path you wanted to choose?
This music kind of loud. When did I know that this was going to be my career? In high school, thank God for, like I said, Fort Hays Career Center. That school changed my life because it opened me up to the opportunity to get into radio and television while I was in high school. So I had some internships. I knew that I wanted to do something in the music industry. Mm-hmm. I knew I wanted to do something in the entertainment industry. Just because my parents exposed me to acting, modeling, and music at an early age since I was a child. So that seed was planted in me when I was a child, and I just knew that when I grew older, that was going to be the direction I was going to go.
You were
I'm just giving you a phone
you were
roll.
winding your finger up. So
Okay, you're wasting time now. We're about to. Hey, WUDG, Home the Unsigned Artist. You're rocking with the People's DJ Frost, and my co-host, Miss Paula, and the legendary, the Sean Anthony, 95.5 in the building. And we'll be right back after these messages. Stick and stay, don't go away. We got a lot more unsigned music coming up.
What year did you go to Fort Hays?
Sean, what year did you go to Fort Hays? Being asked.
I graduated in 94.
Oh, okay.
I was 14 years old.
In 94?
No, not 94. 94, I was 34.
Damn, you old.
You go,
How are you 55 and I just turned 51 and you were 34 and 90?
And what you said, what did you say?
94.
94, I was 34. I was born in 70.
I went to Fort
That
Hays
math
in
don't
92.
seem like it's mathing. I graduated in 91.
I graduated in 90. I mean, in 89.
And let's just do this straight through, man.
Straight there? How do we, okay, so how do we do that now?
Just, after this song, just put the instrumental on. Let's just roll with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 34.
Excuse me, sir.
I didn't get the orange memo. Both of y'all, man. I almost wore my shacket.
The blue
I almost
is
wore
just-
my orange shacket.
We're embracing the spring.
Yeah,
You're still in the darkness of winter.
yeah. I see, man. Me and Frost got the linen sweatshirt
Yeah,
memo.
I see y'all got y'all Frosty Mug Sensation duo pack on.
I
over
didn't
here.
get, I should wear my headsets, my earphones on my head memo. So I'm not in that club either. We're on a roll.
You're not bored yet either.
See you guys.
Thanks, TJ.
Thank you for
Thanks
all
for
the hearts, guys.
Thanks for boosting my morale, TJ. Who is this?
This is Black Moses.
Oh, are we supposed
It
to
is
be having
probably
him on
black
sometimes
guy.
in the future?
Black lady. It was in the army.
Oh, there.
What's
We
up?
got to check the email because there's something in there we're
All the
looking at.
brothers over there.
Okay.
Trump ain't playing.
Yeah, you get an interview, y'all. There's Frost.
What's good? What's good?
It's Mr. Reggie back there. Throw a peace sign up there. Yeah.
What up? Yo.
Miss
You know what
Paula.
it is, Noops. What up?
Hi, y'all.
She said hi ho.
I said hi, y'all. I did not. I said
Disrespectful.
hi, y'all. Like, what are you hearing? He's not.
Disrespecting my followers like that.
I did not disrespect any followers. I said
just
hi,
teasing.
y'all.
I'm teasing. She didn't say that, y'all.
I'm gonna get
Like,
you all
I'm
this stuff
sorry,
too.
I be country.
Sean, I get
sometimes.
you all this footage too. This is what they want.
DJ.
You keep
what
saying
did
that,
you say? I
Mr.
need
Parks,
to-
but you
I
don't.
ain't got your
Where's my
cell
You,
phone,
glasses?
bro.
don't, you
What do
do
you
too,
say?
man.
I'll send it to you.
Go dig in there. You got it.
All right.
Pause.
I'm on what? Okay, so DJ Retardo, that's his name, y'all. I'm not calling anybody out their name, but that's his name. DJ Retardo said, "Let me spit some unk," and then he said, "I got that waka flocka flow."
Oh boy.
Okay.
The waka flocka
What's
flow.
that?
That sounds like a whole new. He said he has the waka flocka flow, and then somebody, what is it? Off lock it. Tug says, "Sample me, unk." That's your new nickname today. You, unk. You everybody, unk.
Well, y'all can get your
On
music
Frost.
heard on the underground.
What's up, man? Y'all ready?
Yes.
All right. So, WUDG, Home the Unsigned Artist. You're rocking with the People's DJ Frost, and my co-host, Miss Paula, in the building.
What's good, y'all?
And special guest, the legendary, the Sean Anthony.
What's happening?
95.5.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it, y'all. Thank you.
I don't even know what's going on over here.
I get it now. I get it. Uh-oh. I'm going to hear about it later. But we're here with Mr. Sean Anthony, mentor, instructor. He does everything. Everything, pretty much.
Right. So, go ahead.
Yeah, I got a question. If I had somebody text me, how do you get involved in, if you want to be into media and want to be on the radio and want to do what Sean do? How do you get started in something like that?
Well, first thing you could do is book a tour at the Ohio Media School and ask for a lady by the name of Miss Jessica Moore, and she will get you on track and figure out, a game plan to get you started to get in the multimedia space.
Are they in Ohio? Columbus?
I don't know. I got to check. I don't went past.
Let's
it,
just,
but
just start right
Yeah.
there.
Start right
Hit us
there.
up at Ohio Media School.
All right.
They in Ohio.
All right. So, what would you say surprised you the most when you started?
What surprised me the most when I started, what, in radio?
Yeah.
What surprised me the most when I first got into radio? I didn't understand celebrity and popularity, because you got to understand that the time when I got into radio, it was way before social media, way before the World Wide Web was popular. I solely got into it because of my love and my passion for music and just entertaining people, grabbing that microphone. And I remember when I had a speaking engagement, someone called into the radio station, to my show, and asked if they could have somebody from the station come speak to their students, their class. Instead of passing it on, I said, look, I'll do it. I'll come and talk to the young people about how I got into radio. And I knew my story. I was passionate about my story. But when I got to the school and the teacher introduced me who I was, the response blew my mind. Like, they were like, oh my gosh, you're Sean Anthony? And I was like, yeah. I didn't understand the popularity. And at that time, here in Columbus, Ohio, there was only one urban station that was playing hip hop and R&B. And we were that source. And then on top of that, my show was at night, 6 to 10, very popular time. And I had high ratings. So a lot of people were listening to the show at the time. But I didn't understand the magnitude, the impact that not only myself, but we had as a team in the city. I didn't understand it until, I started going out in the city and people saying, oh, that's Sean Anthony. Because, radio, they just hear your voice. Mm-hmm. They don't know your face. Right. And when people introduce you, is that Sean Anthony? Is that the Sean Anthony? They would say that, but not like Frosty said it. Is that the? Same thing like with Paul Strong. That's Paul Strong. That's the Paul Strong. Like, yes, that's, we're from the radio. And they're like, wow, So that part was surprising to me.
Right. So what surprised you what surprised you when you first started in acting? Because, we know you do both.
What surprised me in acting? I don't know. I'm still learning and still a student of that. just the level of production that goes into it. You know, I've been on large sets, movie sets, small independent films, major films, music videos. The thing that surprised me when I was on the first major set was just how many people have a role in the significance of the final project. You know, the acting part is very minute in the totality of the production. The acting part is a very small piece of it. You know what I'm saying? It's the cameras, the lighting, the sound, the grip. You know, the editors, the screenwriters. You know, the people that pick the locations. There's so many other variables that go into a production, whether it's a video or film. The acting part is a very small piece of it. Most time, on a film, as an actor, you're doing more waiting than you are acting.
Yeah, we call it a lot of hurry up and wait.
Hurry up and wait.
You hurry up to wait. You get rushed everywhere, and then
because it takes the production crew to set up the scene.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And they have to just shoot it not just from one angle, but
multiple angles.
Same scene gets shot from multiple angles. So there's 4 or 5 different shots.
Yep.
What would you say has been the biggest turning point in your career?
Biggest turning point in my career? I've had several. I've been doing this for a long time. So I'll say one in particular turning point for me was, I won't say that. I'll say this, is when my talk show got picked up for national syndication. My radio show, Flow of Wisdom, which I launched in Richmond. It was a 1-hour talk show on the hip hop station that I worked at. And I shopped to get syndicated. And I got a verbal confirmation that my show was going to get syndicated in 2012. But they said, look, you're just on a totem pole. You're one of the shows that's on the list to get syndicated. And then in March of 2013, my show, Flow of Wisdom, got picked up by the Genesis Communications Network, also known as GCN Radio. They syndicated my show, and that means that, you know, my show got heard on multiple radio stations across the country.
Nice.
So that was a big turning point for me.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
by the way, you can. I just relaunched the podcast of Flow of Wisdom in January, so you can subscribe to the Flow of Wisdom podcast. I took a 2-year hiatus back in 2023, so I did this show for 10 years on the radio, and in 2023, I took a hiatus. I parted ways with the partnership that I had with the network, the radio network that syndicated me, and took 2 years off. Recently, just January of 2025, I launched a podcast. So you can, wherever you check out podcasts, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, my YouTube channel, Flow of Wisdom. The podcast is updated there weekly. In fact, I just released my 6th episode about a couple hours ago.
Wow.
So you can check out the new Flow of Wisdom episode. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Flow of Wisdom. It's Flow of Wisdom on all platforms, but YouTube is where you can check it out, as well as Apple, Spotify, and all of that other stuff.
That's what's up.
Flow of Wisdom, y'all. Check it out.
What is the conversation on Flow of Wisdom?
Flow of Wisdom talks about a lot of esoteric topics. Science, technology, AI, quantum physics, UFOs, in that area.
Okay.
Yeah, things that aren't really popular. But today, the episode I uploaded today is a breakdown of the President Trump and President Zelensky conversation in the White House. I break that down
yes.
in Ukraine.
So what'd you think of that?
Check out my new episode on Flow of Wisdom. Subscribe to it.
Way to promote that.
Flow
I
of
like
Wisdom.
that. I love that.
Yeah,
love
please.
that. Always.
Flow of Wisdom. Everything spelled correctly.
Well,
That wasn't
shots
that
fired.
wasn't no shot.
That was.
That wasn't no shot.
Yes, so I'm gonna have to jump
Yeah,
in
I'm
there
gonna
and
have to,
check it
yeah.
out because I
Yeah.
want to know Mr. Anthony's thoughts on that
Sure.
whole.
Just subscribe when you go there
Okay.
and like it and share. Thank you.
Okay.
You promoting hard.
For
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
But that's what you gotta do. You
Right,
gotta. Okay. So what's one unexpected thing that you've learned in your career?
What's one unexpected thing?
Yes. I know there's many, but just what's one that you
A lot of these entertainers, it's fake. Not so, the facade is fake. When you a lot of these artists that people look up to, and you know a lot of them they're not making a lot of money. It's fake. It's the industry is fake for the most part. You find a few people that are really good human beings. But one of the things that I learned in this game is that it's a lot of these artists are fake. The industry. I wouldn't say a lot of these artists. The industry as a whole is it's a facade.
absolutely. I would agree with you on that. It's very manufactured. Very. So when it comes to music, how do you feel about the originality? The originality of it, because it seems like everything is manufactured. Everybody's coming out sounding the same, looking the same. There's no originality to it anymore.
So what's the question?
What are your thoughts and feelings on it? Like the originality of the sound of music.
Well, there's not that much originality that's popularized. However, there is a vast, diverse amount of music out there. You just got to look at the top 20, 25 songs that are constantly being programmed. All of that lacks diversity and originality. But there's so much more music that's out there that is diverse and unique and different. That's my answer to that. It's what you see the top 25 songs are. That a lot of that, especially if you're dealing with rap. There's a lot of copycatters within rap, but when you go outside of that diagram, you'll see that there's a lot of diversity and original music that is out there. You just got to go out there and get it.
Okay. So what would you say are some of the latest trends that you're seeing in the industry since we're on this topic?
Trends when it comes to what? Like just music, fashion, I don't know what in particular.
Well, let's start with music first.
What are some of the trends?
Mm-hmm.
What's some of the trends that I see? I really have to think about that because, in one regard, you want to say that thoughtfulness and lyricism is trending because of, the ilks of Kendrick and J. Cole and Big Sean and a few of the others, that really put thought and time into their music. But then, that drug culture trend is still kind of prevalent. That violent culture is still trending too. So I don't know.
So what about podcasting? What are some of the latest trends you see in that?
Only thing to come top. The first thing to come to mind is true crime. Everybody loves the true crime podcast. I tried to listen to it. I was traveling last weekend and I tried to listen to a couple of them and it was all right. It was all right. Some people like cappuccino. Some people like decaffeinated coffee, which I don't get. It's like drinking non-alcoholic beer. I don't understand.
Yeah,
that.
what's the point of drinking non-caffeinated? What's the point of drinking coffee without caffeine?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
anyway, you know, it's your palate, whatever your palate is. I don't knock it.
What about fashion?
What about it?
What are some of the latest trends you're seeing in that? I mean,
Bell bottoms is making its baggy is making its way back. The stuff that we used to wear in the early 2000s.
I miss that stuff.
You know, well, it's here now. You know, guys are wearing, you know, the real baggy, oversized jeans and oversized hoodies and sweatshirts, and then the bell bottoms, the boot cut jeans. I used to wear in like 2006. They're back, as you see what Kendrick Lamar had on at the Super Bowl, the big game. He had the bell bottoms or boot cut jeans. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I see coming back in the trends with fashion.
What do you feel about the sagging?
Sagging,
Mm-hmm.
I strongly dislike it. Yeah, I don't like seeing a man's dingy drawers in public. It's horrible.
So no, guys.
It's horrible.
And what about skinny jeans?
I mean, listen. Look, as long as you're covered up, I don't care. You know, it's not my preference. I don't wear skinny jeans. I got
That's
some.
good to know.
I do have some very form-fitting jeans. One of my
Well,
friends.
I was gonna ask you if you had any skinny jeans.
Listen. I am not ashamed of poking fun of myself. One of my best friends. He always breaks my ball. We all, you know.
No pun intended.
Yeah. He's like, yo, there you go with your calf pants on, Anthony. You got them calf pants on. He said I got calf pants on, but you know, I got some a couple of form-fitting jeans. I wouldn't call them skinny.
I've heard some friends call it some bee huggers.
Some ball huggers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was gonna ask.
Listen, like I said, you know, you wear what you want, but I don't
Right.
want to see you, grown man. I don't want to see you dirty behind, man. I don't understand that for the life of me.
As a female, I know how it is to wear
And
skinny.
huge snuffleupagus eyelashes, just like that, and dude sagging. Those two things I don't understand. It's okay to put some of the lashes on, you know.
Some of it.
Yeah, not
As long as they not windshield
Extra
wipers.
long.
not the windshield wipers, not the
Not the Muppet eyelashes.
not the eclipses. Nah. Not the snuffleupagus.
Looking like a giraffe. Jeez.
Oh my god, I'm about to choke. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, I got it. So can you share a story about a time that you had to overcome a major obstacle? And how did you handle the criticism?
Wait a minute, that's two different questions.
Okay, well, answer the first one first. The first one was a story about a time you overcame a major obstacle.
I remember when I was on the radio on Power 107.5 doing the night show, and I get a call on the request line, and it's one of my best friend's brother, and he called me up. I'm live on the radio, mind you, and back then it wasn't automated, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He called me on the request line and told me that Rizzy had been shot, and that he's in the hospital right now, and it's not looking good. And he told me this, like I said, I'm live on the radio. I probably got like less than 45 seconds left till it's time for me to talk on the radio. And that was difficult because I had to finish my show knowing that my friend Rizzy was shot and later died, ended up being murdered, and is still unsolved to this day. That was difficult, but I had to overcome that, you know, live on the radio.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You held it together. I'm like, most people would have had to leave. Like,
Yeah, I'm different, you know, and that's just one of many different stories that I can share. You know, it's a thing that we talk about in media. You know, media never stops.
Right.
You know, I was on the radio the day the Twin Towers got knocked, you know, on 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the radio when Michael Jackson died. You know, I was on the radio and I can go down a list of a lot of different things. Kobe Bryant, a lot of different things that went on. Media never stops, you know. But you take your personal time when you want to mourn or deal with those different emotions and stuff like that.
This is definitely a career field where the show must go on no matter what happens. It still goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, how would you say that you handle criticism?
How do I handle criticism?
Uh-huh.
I think I handle it well. In fact, I welcome it as long as it's constructive and you know, tactfully done. I'm always open. In fact, I just talked to my friend to give me some constructive criticism on my latest episode of my Flow of Wisdom podcast. By the way, subscribe. You know,
Like, follow, share.
yeah, like, follow, share. But I welcome criticism as long as it's respectfully and tactfully done, because it's only going to make me better. Listen, I'm still a student of the game, and because that's my approach. If you're not growing, you're dying. I'm always looking for an opportunity to grow and become better. So, you know, criticism is I'm cool with it. You know, I welcome it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely. So it sounds like you forever studying.
I'm always studying. Like I said, I'm always a student, but I'm also teaching too, because I'm also at this point where I've got skin in the game, and I have a lot to share, and I want to share it, and yeah. So you got to be open to receive critique and feedback, especially if you're a public figure. I've been a public figure for most of my life, and yeah, the criticism comes with it. You know, I have thick skin, and yeah.
You have to. So, what would you say is the most rewarding part of your job?
Impacting people's lives. You know, when I run across someone, I may never met them before, or I'm just meeting them for the first time, and they'll tell me, "Yo, I remember you came to my school and spoke, and you changed my life," or, you know, that word you shared on your show, you know, that really helped me out during this time. And, you know, those are the things that's gratifying, you know, when I'm able to impact people's lives. And then being in the position that I'm in at the Ohio Media School as the education program director, I'm able to impact people's lives on a whole different level now. You know what I mean? So, you know, for me, it's gratifying to hear something that I may have done or said in my on my platform, whether it's radio, television, or entertainment, that it impacted somebody's life for the good. That's what stands out.
So, with that being said, what would you say you're most passionate about in your work?
What am I most passionate about? Teaching them.
I like that.
Yep. I'm able to teach and pour back into others.
As it was pouring into you.
Yep.
Only thing I need.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I said as it was pouring into you.
Yep.
And with that being said, who were the people that were most influential in your life?
Outside of my parents, I'll start with my great uncle Bobby, his son, my cousin Rodney. Those two opened me up to music and the music industry. And then educators, Mr. Stocks, who was my junior year's teacher at Fort Hays Radio and Television. Miss Gianassi, she was my senior teacher, whom I still talk to this day, very day. And then Chuck Douglas, who's a legendary radio personality. He was the first radio personality to take me under his wing and coach me and mentor me. And then Paul Strong. You know, he was my first program director that gave me a shot on the radio, you know, and, you know, he coached me and guided me and gave me game. And all of those people, with the exception of my junior year's teacher and my, you know, yeah, we still in contact. You know what I'm saying? My Miss Gianassi, Miss G, I call her, my senior teacher, we still in contact, and Chuck Douglas, who's still on the radio today, we're still in contact as well.
Yeah, I've got a question now.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get your show syndicated? That's what I would like.
How do you get your show syndicated?
Yes.
Well, it's more than one way to skin a cat. I can just tell you what I did. The thing that I did, Reggie, is
And then we're gonna break down syndication. Some people
yeah,
don't know what
great. Syndication is,
Thank
like the Breakfast Club, Oprah Winfrey, Steve Harvey. You all hear and see those shows. The Breakfast Club, they do their show on a radio station based in New York, but we hear it in Columbus. You can hear it in Atlanta. You can hear it in Houston. That's what syndication is. Oprah Winfrey show, she did her show in Chicago, but we were able to hear it all across the country. That's what syndication is. So how do you get your show syndicated? I can only tell you how I did it. I put on my blinders, number one, and I focused because I wear a lot of hats. I do a lot of things, but at this particular time, I stopped doing all the other things and only focused on my night radio show, what I was doing that was paying the bills at the time, or barely paying the bills. And I shopped my show to all the radio networks. I looked up every single radio network that I could find. I put together a package, a demo of my show, a one-pager, explaining the show. And I found phone numbers, contacts, emails, and I just relentlessly went at it for about a year straight. And got a lot of contacts, got a lot of feedback, and had some interest, but one ended up panning out, and we created a partnership, and that's how I got syndicated. He asked a question and left. Ain't that some stuff?
I think you got a phone call or something. I don't know.
That's all right.
How you gonna ask
All
a
right.
question and just dip out?
That's
Like,
all right. I'm gonna dip
that's
out and close
kinda
this door.
rude.
Go ahead with your next question.
Woo, that boot.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what are some key accomplishments in your career? I'm sure you have a few, but
Some key accomplishments in my career, man. I got my first co-leading role in a movie last year. It was released last year.
what is the name of it?
Tears for Tasha. Prior to that, I did The Female Hustler Part 1 and Part 2. Part 1, I had one scene in that movie, but the Female Hustler Part 2, I had multiple scenes throughout that. So, off the top, I would say those. That was pretty significant because I've been acting off and on since I was a child, and it's always been a goal of mine, an aspiration to, be in a movie and co-star or star in a film. So that was a pretty big deal for me personally.
When you could check off your bucket list.
Yep.
And how did you get started in film and television, for anybody that wants to know? Because I know Ohio isn't really normally a place you would think of when it comes to film and television.
Well, like I said, my mother had me in acting classes and auditioning since I was a child. So that started when I lived in New Jersey. So my mother would take me to Philadelphia, to New York, auditioning for movies, TV shows, music videos and everything. Had me in acting classes, had me in modeling. So at a very early age, so I was a child. So that's the answer to your question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's very easy in this field to get typecast in parts. Luckily, I never have. But as a male, do you find yourself often typecast in specific roles for parts you go for?
Well, I haven't quite got at that level yet, you know what I'm saying? But I will say this, the recent character that I played in Tears for Tasha, I had to recently turn down an offer for a role because it was similar to the character that I played in Tears for Tasha. And for me, I think that was a one and done. I'm not doing a character like I did. The character name is Fred in Tears for Tasha. I don't want to do that character anymore. So, and me and the producer of that film, and he also, the producer, directed The Female Hustlers 1 and 2. We've had conversations about this at length, and that's Dom Campbell. Shout out to Dom Campbell, Imperium Studios. We've had conversations about this at length, about making sure that I'm not putting no box with that type of character.
Yeah,
So,
because once you get put in those boxes, it's hard to get out.
yeah.
It really is.
N-
So,
Especially a character like that. Now, if it was a different type of character, more lighthearted, we'll see. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Typecast me, cut the check. You know what I'm saying? Roll the credits. You know what I'm saying? Put it on my resume.
Wait,
but,
you like typecast me if you gonna give me that money?
Right. If it makes sense, but not that Fred character that I played in Tears for Tasha. I don't want to do anything like that.
It sounded like he was a really heavy, dark type
Check out the movie.
character.
Yeah, it was dark.
Yeah, it was. Where can they find that?
It was released on Tubi. It was
Okay.
released on Tubi. So yeah.
All right. So, what would you say is one of the biggest misconceptions about your industry you'd like to clear up?
The biggest misconceptions. The biggest misconception? That you're rich. That would probably be one.
Right.
You know, that you can make a lot of money. Because when I first started out, I didn't make a lot of money at all. Now, I got to a position to where it was my livelihood, where it was my main source of income. Fast forward, the industry has changed so much now that it would not be in your best interest to rely only on one source. You know what I'm saying? So I positioned myself to where I don't rely just on radio. So, oops, there we go. Alicia Keys falling.
He dropped y'all.
Yep, that's it.
He dropped y'all like a bad habit. Sorry. He said that's it. So, with that being said, what would you say is one of the biggest misconceptions people have about you?
One of the biggest misconceptions about me. I'm more of an introvert than people may think.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm very content with being alone, by myself, a loner, if you will. I was raised as the only child, and that plays a part into it. Like I said, I've been a public figure for most of my life, so I've figured out a way to turn it on and turn it off. Not everybody can do that. I can do that. But the biggest misconception, like he's the party guy, he likes to go out, he's this and that. It's the opposite.
Right.
You know, I'm very, very guarded in that regard. You know what I'm saying?
So, with that being said, what's something most people would be surprised to know about you?
That I'm an introvert. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't think that. I thought,
You know what?
I see him out and about. I'm like, okay.
Right.
I don't know.
Because I'm getting paid.
Yes, sir. All right.
Unless it's something that's meaningful, that I'm giving back or something like that. If you hear me out and about somewhere, best believe there's a pay to the order of.
Okay.
All of it.
Okay.
There's a pay to the order of Sean Anthony.
The Sean.
Let me let you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't pop out for free.
I'm very, very private.
Okay.
People, like I said, being a public figure, you would think that I'm very public. I'm out, going about myself and this and the third, but I'm very, very guarded. I give you what I want people to know. It's intentional.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of people that do that in this industry.
And
You
it's
have
a
to
lot.
find a way to put it out there and then shut it down to be able to protect yourself from.
And family.
I know how to come off personable.
Right.
And it's genuine,
Yes.
but there's a line
Right.
that I'll draw.
Don't cross it.
I feel you have to.
Don't get a problem. Don't be trouble. It should be some people that do be that way.
Oh, yeah.
Some people just be having their business just all out there.
I feel like there's something to the mystery. Like, yeah, no. So what keeps you up at night?
Pain. Dreams. Nightmares.
Okay. And what motivates you?
What motivates me?
Yeah.
the things that I have in mind for my legacy. Yeah. The vision that I have, things that I'm working on right now, have been working on for the past couple of years. Those are the things that motivate me. It's at this point now, it's not about me. It's setting something up for the future. That's what motivates me right now.
All right. Would you say that's also the things that excite you as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
And I might plug it. It is nonprofit, Sean Anthony Foundation, as well as SOPA, which is a school of School of Performing Arts. The Sean Anthony School of Performing Arts. It's a 501c3 nonprofit. I'm creating programs in education in the performing arts because the arts changed my life, and that's my legacy project. That's what I'm working on behind the scenes, and that's what motivates me right now. And this is for the future. This is not for me. It's for me setting up something for generations to come.
Is that also the only thing you want to be remembered for, or are there also other things you want to be remembered for?
I'm sure there'll be.
alongside of that?
I'm sure there'll be other things. You know, I mean, I'm not. I can't control what people will remember me for. I can only, do what's genuine to me, and whatever resonates with others is what I'll be remembered for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not even trying to control that narrative. I just know that this is the way I want to give back. You know what I'm saying? If I'm remembered for that, my school, that's great. If I'm remembered for being on the radio, that's great. But I don't have no control over that. What I do have control over is what I'm willing to contribute to society and what I'm willing to give back to others.
Well, that's cool because a lot of people, reach a certain point and not everybody gives back, but it's a good thing to give back and pay it forward, especially if somebody paid it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think has been your biggest failure so far?
My biggest failure?
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't the one. It's like, nah, I'm just playing. It's like, nah, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Woo!
I'm just playing. My biggest failure. Listen, we've all had failures. I don't focus on my failures. I always look at them as lessons.
Okay, so with that being said, what would you say is the most important lesson that you've learned in life?
Always go with your gut.
That's good advice.
If you don't have peace with a decision that you're about to make, then don't make that decision. That's what I learned out of the numerous mistakes that I've made in my life.
That's good advice. That definitely is, because all too often
Your intuition will never lie.
it doesn't. Your gut instinct will tell you if it feels wrong in the gut, then you need to think about that.
Yeah.
It's telling you something.
It's a reason why you're feeling hesitation on something. If you're about to do something and you just feel this uneasy feeling about it, it's a reason. You should pause. You should just wait.
I like that.
Could that also be nervousness or scared for some people?
I mean, it could be a combination of it all, Frost. Nervousness, fear. What was the other thing that you said?
Scared.
Yeah, scared, fear, same thing. All of that could be, centered, a result of the core thing. Mm-hmm. There's one thing, and then you got fear, then you got anxiety, you got all of these other
things that branch out.
Intangibles, but it's that one thing.
But I kind of feel like when you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach, that's a different feeling than the fear and anxiety. I feel like you can tell the difference between whether it's one of them impending, this is definitely not something you should be doing, as opposed to, nervous energy, anxiety type situation.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong. It could be different from everybody else. I'm just saying it's what I've observed. But
Mm-hmm.
so, what do you have any fears? Like, what's your biggest fear?
I don't want to speak on it.
Okay.
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 All right.
Makes sense. And what is a unique thing about you? What would you say is something unique about yourself?
Something unique about me. I'm ambidextrous. I write with my left hand. I bowl with my right hand. I throw the frisbee with my right hand.
Which hand are you predominant with?
I would say it's equal. Like I said, I'm telling you the things that I do. I write left-handed, but I bat left-handed. I bowl right-handed. I throw the frisbee right-handed. I play the guitar right-handed.
Play the guitar?
If I wanted to. Like
I have a guitar.
If you put a guitar in my hand, I'm going to hold it like a right-hander, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Now, can I play notes that coincide with one another? That's a different thing.
Okay.
You know.
No, I feel like that's often something of most left-handed people. I can't speak for all, but I know I'm left-handed, but I feel I do a lot of things both-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Like both-handed. So, what's one piece of advice that you could share with all of us?
One piece of advice.
Mm-hmm. I know you have a lot, but what is?
Don't kiss them hoes in the mouth. It's like, nah.
Wow. All right.
That's in the words of Big Boy from Outkast. Nah, that's a worldly one. That's a worldly one. I'll give you something with some substance. You weren't expecting that, was you?
No.
Shout out to Big Boy from Outkast. I would say a piece of advice is to, and this is something that I would end my show with on Flow of Wisdom, is to live life, get wisdom, and let it flow.
Mm.
The wisdom that you gain throughout your life experiences, share it with others. It's not for you. You know, share that gift. So live life, get wisdom, and let it flow.
Yeah, I like that. I like
Yeah.
it. Definitely. So what's next for you? What are you currently working on?
As I alluded to, my foundation, the Sean Anthony Foundation, which is to create programs in education in science and technology as well as transportation. And then my other nonprofit, which is the Sean Anthony School of Performing Arts, is a school that I am currently working on developing and building that will be focused on the arts, instrumental music, dance, fine arts, choir, acting, theater, and multimedia. That was the last 7 pillars.
Wow. Well, you know, there's 7 gates of ascension.
Oh, yeah?
So, you know, there's something in that number 7.
Interesting.
Yes, it is. So, do you have any regrets?
Yeah, she wasn't the one. She wasn't it. But I moved on and I've learned.
I think we all do with that.
Some
You
people
live
don't.
and you
They
learn.
stay stuck.
That's true, but you gotta learn and grow past it to go on to the next.
Yeah.
One door closes,
You know,
many
it closes for a reason.
that part, and several open.
Yeah, I've had a few regrets, you know. Like the great words of Frank Sinatra, "Old Blue Eyes," but I did it my way.
And this is every day, y'all. Every
And
day.
what would you say has been the proudest moment? Like, what are you most proudest of in your life?
My babies.
Mm. All right.
Because they're the future. They're the next generation.
Yeah.
You gotta pour into them.
Yeah. They're a smaller version of you.
Yep. They all got a piece of me.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
And what are 3 book recommendations that you would recommend for everybody that they should read, that are must read?
The Alchemist is a good one. There's this book that I read years ago, and it changed my trajectory. It was called, I think it's called The Call. I do not remember the author, but that book, The Alchemist, is a good one. And some of the classics, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and what's the other one? I'll just leave it at that right now. Those are some books that stand out that I've read.
What's your favorite book that you read?
Those are some of my favorites. Napoleon Hill's books. He's got several that I have in my library. I love to read. Yeah, those. What is it? Is it Think and Grow Rich? And then, yeah, it's one of Napoleon Hill's books. It's a couple of them, but I can't think of the other titles right now. Oh, Wallace D. Wattles. It's one of my favorites. That book, I reread it all the time. It's called The Science of Getting Rich. And it ain't about money.
Hmm.
Yeah, The Science of Getting Rich.
What's it about?
Really life and just giving the blueprint of how your mindset should be, and it's a lot deeper, more metaphysical. Like I said, rich is a byproduct of it, but it gives you the blueprint on how to, like, one of the chapters is called How to Think a Certain Way. And then another chapter is how to act a certain way. Then there's a chapter about gratitude. You see what I'm saying? So it's about principles that you can implement in your life that will bring you richness, not so much in a monetary way, but richness in life. That book is probably one of my favorites.
Wow.
Look, that girl was everything. I mean, those are definitely good books to read. I think that's a lost art that we have lost because cell phones have become prevalent. So we're reading from the screen, and we don't often pick up a good hardback for our books anymore.
I like reading a book with a pen and a highlighter. Like if you ever see my library or go through my books, you'll see they're marked up, highlights,
Notes.
Little notes. I don't really write too many notes in the book. I do like to journal and write, on a note in a notepad or a journal.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll make little asterisks or underlining stuff. You know what I mean? That's why it's been like that since I was a kid. I always keep a pen in my pocket because I always like to write and journal. Mm-hmm. Ever since I was a kid, I keep a pen in my pocket.
I'm surprised you don't keep a little portable notepad in your pocket.
It's in my briefcase, not the small one.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I got a big one in my briefcase, a notepad.
Because you gotta jot down them notes when you come to you. Sometimes you forget, like you just want to write it down. You don't want to have to record it in your phone.
Yep.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Launching my School of Performing Arts for young people. That's what I see in the next 5 years. Right. School of Performing Arts.
Look out for it, y'all.
SOPA.
You heard it here first.
You literally did, because I haven't talked about this publicly really anywhere.
Wow.
But you know what? Honestly, between me and you, with the way they're taking arts out of the school and the way that they are changing, and them getting rid of the Department of Education part, possibly our kids don't have an outlet anymore to put that talent in, and everybody's born with a natural talent. So I take my hat off to you to giving back and being able to still give that creative life to the kids.
Absolutely. And all the things that you mentioned, Miss Paula, is the reason why, one of the many reasons why I'm doing it. You know, everything that you just said. So yeah, it's a passion project. I'm passionate about it. You know, it's like I said in the very beginning, and I've said throughout this interview, and I'll continue to say, um, the School of Performing Arts changed my life. Going to Fort Hayes, it changed my life. And, so I want to be able to create a platform to give back to other young people. They need that form of expression, to express themselves creatively. And what way to do it than the arts? So, yeah.
Yeah, and Fort Hayes was, definitely great to have. I mean, I know especially back when I was going to school, a lot of people who knew they weren't going to college or knew they couldn't afford to college would go there, and they would come out of there ready to jump into the workforce, and there were such great programs for kids to take advantage of. So
Yeah, I met some students that had interned here for a little bit, and they liked coming on my show what was it? It was Thursday. They used to come on here every Thursday, and I used to have them find the stories, stuff like that, the topics, and they was on it. They was on the business. So yeah, the school does a lot.
and I'm gonna ask this question. So it sounds like you're forever evolving and forever changing. So how would you say that you are different this year than you were from your old self last year? How have you grown?
From last year.
Mm-hmm. Or even, in the last 5 years.
Oh, in the last 5 years.
He's like, I haven't seen the growth from last year yet. Just joking.
Becoming more clear. The vision is more clear now of what it is that I want to accomplish. And like I said, that's with my school. This vision of the school, I've had that vision for many, many years. And it didn't really dawn on me that the time is now to start working on that a couple of years ago. So from the summer of 23, I began working on it. And all the way up until the top of 24 is when I started to set everything in place as far as structure-wise, getting filing with the state, getting the 501c3, getting the EIN, even with my business, my company, Sean Anthony Media Group. By the way, if you need production, media production, voiceover work, consulting and management and entertainment, that's what my LLC is based on. So all of those things I set up last year, the foundation, the structure, the vendor's license, getting MBE certified with the city of the Columbus, getting MBE certified with the state of Ohio. All of these things I worked on from last year to this year. So to answer your question, what was it again? The growth, what was it?
How have you seen yourself? How are you different?
How am I different?
Yeah,
I'm a boss now, officially. Like, it's one thing to say you call yourself a boss and you ain't really got nothing to show for it. But I got my own businesses now, and I got things structured. And I've created other businesses over my career, but never have I done it, organized it to the extent that I have it organized and structured today. Like my 501c3 is tax exempt from the IRS. I got my letter. My LLC is official tissue. The bank account. So if you want to donate to SOPA, go ahead and donate. It's a tax write-off. You can slide on my DMs and I can tell you how to do it. But I'm a boss now. I have my business. I got my business in order. So that's the difference. Not saying that it wasn't in order before, but it's
more in order.
It's much more in order now than it's ever been. Yeah.
That's what's up. A lot of people be saying they're bosses. What you the boss of? I'm a boss.
So looking at yourself now where you are and thinking about where you came from, especially as a young man and, preteen boy, if you could give yourself your younger self advice from your older self now, what would you tell yourself?
She ain't it. Say nah. I'm just playing. I'm playing. That's a joke. What would I tell myself, my younger self?
Mm-hmm.
I would tell myself keep your money there and keep investing in that those few things that you work you had your money in. I'd have told myself not to pull that money out. Yeah, that's one thing I would have told myself.
I felt that coming. I felt that coming. When it comes to investing, sometimes you pull that money, you be like, man.
Yeah,
hindsight.
Investing is for the long term,
Yes.
and you can't be moved by the emotions of today.
Mm-hmm. Gotta stick it out.
Yeah.
You also got to be prepared to take a little bit of L before you get that trajectory too. People be afraid to lose money in this day and age.
Mm-hmm.
Be afraid to lose money, period, no matter what day and age. But
Oh, absolutely.
you don't want to lose no money, but it's a learning experience.
So
I was telling people when we was on Black Planet and MySpace and Facebook wasn't even on the horizon yet. If people would have told us, hey, get some stock in Facebook or whatnot.
Yes.
We don't ever think about that. I look at people like Shaquille O'Neal, and how he's done his thing.
Yeah, he came a long way.
You can't even really call him Shaquille O'Neal. You gotta call him Dr. Shaquille O'Neal, Sheriff Shaquille O'Neal, DJ Shaquille O'Neal.
But see, that just goes to show you that we do live in a time where you have to be multifaceted. You can't just have one stream or one avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, when you look at most of the most successful people, they have multiple things they're tapped into.
He's just so good with what he do. Like, it was a story he said, a white gentleman told him the difference between being wealthy and rich, and he had a piece of cardboard and he tore it up. He said, rich people take this 50, put that up, and ball out on this 50. He said, wealthy people take that 50, tear it again, put this 75 in the bank, and ball out on the whole $25. That's what makes you wealthy. And look at all the decisions he made so far. He got part stock in the General because that was his first insurance company that was affordable for him.
Doesn't he have something to do with Papa John's too?
Yeah, he has a lot of stuff. He said, you're not going to have a meeting with me or tell me what you did with my money. If I'm not sitting at that table, there's no meeting that be had.
But you know what? When you get to a certain level in life and you're making so much money, you should know what is going on with your finances. I don't believe that you should ever have some person that you're trusting with all your finances, making and moving your money, unless you're not signing off on it. And you need to be looking at that paperwork to make sure that what you signing off on is what it is, so you're not getting bamboozled or robbed.
Right.
That ain't nobody having that much freedom over my bank account.
Right. Well, that comes from people being lazy.
That too.
Because they got the money now, I got you doing this. They don't even know how much a loaf of bread costs because they ain't been to the store.
What would you say is your favorite quote?
My favorite quote?
Mm-hmm.
Live life, get wisdom, and let it flow. That's something that I would say on my Flow of Wisdom radio show.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have a specific life motto?
What do you mean?
Like, do you have a motto in life that you live by? Like some people live by a YOLO type of, you only live once type motto. Like, is there?
I have to come back to that.
That's completely fine.
So, if possible, I know this might be a stretch, but I can only ask, can you please recite what you be telling us at graduation? Like, why? Why? The reason why I like it because when you hear it,
It's inspirational.
yes,
Well, no, and there's nothing wrong
it
with that.
sits in your
Go
soul.
for it.
Every time he said, he could say it a quadrillion times, and I've been at a lot of graduations, but every time he say it, it's like the first time hearing it.
I appreciate that, Frost. And so it comes out of my book that I released in 2013. The book is called Conversations with Hip Hop. Flow of Wisdom presents Conversations with Hip Hop. It's a short ebook you can get on Amazon. And I learned this from one of my mentors. He says there's 4 types of people in life. You have adders, subtractors, dividers, and multipliers. And adders are the type of people that add value to your life. Those are the ones that are going to give you a word of encouragement and give you supportive words. You want to keep adders around. The next group of people are subtractors. Subtractors are the type of people that constantly pull from your life. Those are the ones that always got something negative to say, always asking for something from you. You want to limit your time from subtractors, because if you're around them too much, they'll deplete you. So limit your time. Next are dividers. Now, dividers are the type of people that separate you from your purpose in life. So you want to control, alt, delete dividers out of your life. Lastly, you have multipliers. Multipliers are the type of people that expand your life. These are the type of people that have the bigger vision, that can open you up to a network that can expand your life in ways that you can only imagine. So you want to keep multipliers in your life. So as you go home tonight, pull out your dumb phone, go through your contact list, and you'll go through your list and start to put each person in the quadrant. You have adders, subtractors, dividers, and multipliers.
Yeah. Every time I hear that, you ain't got no energy, and you hear that, your battery just been refueled, overfueled. It's like, I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'll fight Mike Tyson. You're gonna knock your whole liver loose. Yeah. Every graduation.
But no, but it definitely is good sound advice. I mean, because it's the truth, it's facts. Like, everybody needs to go in and clear out that phone. So with you being as busy, because you got your hand on a little bit of everything, what do you do for downtime?
Rest. Nothing. Netflix and chill. Indulge in a cigar or two. Just relax.
Wow. I mean, when you sat up here and said that you're more of an introvert, I'm like,
I can see it.
I mean, the way he carries himself, you see only a fraction of what we see. This cat is running around here.
Right,
and I like to see that.
But also when I am here and I see him in his office, the way he is in his office, you can get a vibe and a tell for how a person really is when you see them sit alone for a moment. So I can see where he could be an introvert personality, but that's the thing about introverts. I feel like you have different levels of introverts, that they know how to turn it on and turn it off, and use their extrovertness when needed, if that makes sense.
Not everybody's like that though, because I got some friends that's introverts and they're just assholes,
Yes.
with people around them, or with, excuse me, I was supposed to say that? My bad.
They're very matter of fact.
Yeah, I know some people that are real standoffish. They come off like as an ass, and people will come up to me, what's up with your mans and them? Don't worry about it. He be all right. He is how he is,
Man, I appreciate this interview because seeing you, walking past you, working with you, working under you, no Diddy, as an employee or whatnot. You know, it's a privilege.
I appreciate that, Frost.
Hearing you on the air, hearing others on the air, and then like boom, they right here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, you work with Sean? That's my boss. One of my bosses. Like, you don't work with Sean Anthony. Okay, all right.
I
So,
feel
you
like,
know,
but there's also a humbleness that comes
Yeah,
from
you
him too, because I've met a lot of people in the industry across the country in various markets, and some of them are very arrogant and egotistical because they are who they are, and and this. Don't matter. You put your pants on the same way, but you are very personable, approachable, and down to earth. Like you know, you don't let who you are on air that come across as who you are in everyday
Yeah,
meetings. So that's
I appreciate that, and I attribute that to my family. You know, my parents, just my upbringing. But you know, it goes back to what I was saying in the very beginning of this interview. And by the way, thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it, for both of you as well. But I never got into radio for the fame. Like that was a byproduct. I had no idea that I would be popular in the city, you know, from just being on the radio. And like I always, I'm gonna tell you real quick how I advanced when I first got hired at the radio station. So I got hired as a part-time on-air personality.
Mhm.
So my shift was on the weekends, overnight.
Mm.
But I didn't care. I just wanted to crack that mic. Like that was it. Like I wanted to play dope music and I just wanted to grab the mic and be able to entertain folks.
Mhm.
And that's all I wanted to do. I had no idea what kind of impact it would bring. And fast forward, when you look at the way that the industry has changed now, they're giving social media influencers radio opportunities, people that are influencers on social media. And those are two different things. Radio and media and broadcasting is totally different than being a social media influencer. But I'll digress on that. But my intentions was always pure. It came from a good place, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to entertain the city. You know, I didn't want to get famous. I wasn't trying to be popular. I just wanted to rock out and have fun. And my passion is contagious. You know what I'm saying? My passion, that's what he's talking about, how I am, you know. Yeah, I genuinely love doing what I do here at the school, being able to impact these young people's lives and impart something into them, into their career. It comes from a genuine place of passion. And you can't quantify that. That's not hype. That's not ego driven. It's based on passion. It's based on love. You know what I'm saying? The intention is from a pure space. So yeah, that's where it comes from. It's like I said, not an egotistical thing. You know, from on the why I do it. I genuinely want to help people, you know, see their potential, see their best in this space. You know, this creative space. We're all creatives. Some people create differently, you know, but I like to find joy in guiding people to discover their greatness. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not for me to discover it. I can see something in you that you may not see in yourself, but and it's funny because I was just talking to somebody, one of our instructors,
Mm-hmm.
about what I'm about to say is that I was telling this instructor, there's so many things that I want to share with you that I see in you, but wisdom tells me to be quiet to let you discover it. I just have to guide you.
That's deep. That's deep.
I literally text that to this because they followed up with me after a one-on-one conversation we had.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day they hit me up, thank you for being you. And I'm like, what'd I do? You know? And they were just reflecting on the conversation that we had the previous day. And I was just telling that person that, look, I see this great potential in you. And there's certain things, there's so many different things I want to share with you. But again, wisdom tells me, no, it ain't for you to say that yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm finding it's that intuition. I'm listening to that intuition, my gut, because when we're talking face to face,
Right.
It's almost
I
almost
want-
like it's pouring from you from a higher.
I want to say these things to them,
Right.
but that unction, that wisdom is telling me, nah, don't say nothing yet. This ain't the right time, because it's not going to come out right. It might not be perceived the right way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They could get defensive and all. And the intention is pure.
Mm-hmm.
It's from a loving place. But wisdom tells me to be quiet. What I'm being told internally is just to simply guide you, to let you discover it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you discover it, then
Bling.
then the epiphany, then we can take my guidance
Then you
to
can
take
come
you
in
to
and
another.
do what you need
Yes,
to do.
yes. But if I tell you, look, this is what I see, it's going to be overwhelmed.
Right.
You know,
But then not just that, but when you tell a person what you see for them, it kind of influences, so they don't quite embrace what is exactly for them, because they are actually trying to guide what's supposed to happen more based off of what you told them as opposed to what's supposed to happen.
yeah.
Or it can be scary.
Well,
For
yeah,
some
change
people,
is scary.
Yep.
It's too much for them.
Change is scary.
But I see this cat every. I put respect on his name. I see Mr. Sean Anthony every day, and not just on the mic, but it's a pleasure of being in the same building with you.
I appreciate that, man. We come on, bro. Don't stop that, man.
No, I'm for real. I'm for real.
You make him tear up.
This is no.
And y'all, they dressed alike too.
You
Stop
gotta
it.
See,
They made me take this shirt off.
I didn't get the memo. I actually wore school colors today because in honor, I wore school colors. I even wore my legendary half sweatshirt. We're not saying he's half a legend. It's just the way the shirt's designed. But I was trying to be.
But he if you see him, man, wow.
Look, I've seen the
Appreciate that.
antics of his video on social media,
God,
and I'm telling
He
you,
be
look,
clowning.
he be
Cat
look.
on
I
it.
didn't see him slap some stuff to where
Yeah,
you be
yeah.
calling me McKimbo about some stuff I done.
No.
He be like slapping, like when he slapped the box of generic Rice Krispie. I was like, oh man, she would try. And then you slap the beaver, something off the. I'm like, woo, wait. Wow.
It's all entertainment.
For real.
He makes it believable.
For real, it's
Get
hilarious.
this stuff
It's
up out of here.
hilarious. It's hilarious.
And then you just switch it up here at the Ohio Media School.
Yeah, he does. It's like real quick. See, here they are. It's like that's called asking, folks. You don't
Right.
know? You better ask somebody.
So if you are really trying to do this, you need to come to the Ohio Media School.
For real,
Learning
for real.
from pros how to be a pro.
That's right.
And it's in a nice, relaxing, nurturing atmosphere. I think nurturing is a good word because everybody here wants to see you succeed.
Everybody cares.
And that's intentional. That atmosphere that you're talking about, it wasn't always here. But over the past couple of years, 2 years, that's the atmosphere. That's intentional. So when I hear people say that, my antennas perk up, and it's a feeling of gratitude because that was the intent. When I first got into this position, was to change the atmosphere here. And to hear people say that, to recognize it without no
It's true.
suggestions or anything, that means a lot.
But it's important too because especially when you're going to school as an adult, it's different because you don't just have classes you're focused on. You got life, life and school. And sometimes it's hard to juggle the two. And some people, I'm sure, come like all the time, closed door, probably wanting to cry because they might need to quit because life is life. And so it's nice to be able to have places where you got the nurturing atmosphere where people are like, you know what, don't quit. We're here to help you succeed and fulfill.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm willing to say this. I stand beside Mr. Anthony, the Sean Anthony, at graduation. And you know, to see them students come in from registration to graduation,
The change.
and you know they've been through some stuff. They know they've been through some stuff. Maybe they might come into your office 2-3 times a week, and they got some more to add to the last time they talked to you. And you give them that advice, and they still come to school the next day or in a couple of hours and do what they need to do.
Well, I would say in the time that I've gotten to be blessed to be able to be in the halls and you know, witness and experience and help co-host the show, I've definitely seen with the students that have come in that started like from start to finish, the change in their atmosphere, the confidence that comes to them that they didn't have in the beginning. Like even with the students that come in who've actually taken advantage and sat in on the show in the beginning, very nervous, don't want to talk, don't want to be a part of it. By the end of the show, they've perked up. It's almost like they found their voice or they feel comfortable finding their voice, getting over the hurdles. So it's always a blessing to see the growth from beginning to end.
That's why I like coming here so much. Well, this is my second home. I love being here.
Frost came here with the building. He came with the
Look, y'all inherited the building and Frost. It's like be like, well, when you sign the lease, you get a Frost.
He been through, yeah, right. He been through all the different administrations.
True.
Yeah.
But this is the one though. No disrespect to the rest of them, but yeah, you doing your thing, and I'm very proud to be a part of this here.
Thank you, sir.
Putting a stamp on
You
it.
doing it. You and the team, y'all doing it.
Yes,
So-
we got a great team.
So when you start the school, what is the age for?
That's a great question. So primarily the target demo is 14 to 17.
Nice, because that's the age they really need
Yeah.
guidance.
But the vision and goal is to open it up for younger students as well, and maybe even some 18 and to 22. But the goal is at 14 to 17, the high school age, 9th grade to 12th grade. That is the target demo for SISOPA.
But it is also the most. It's the most targeted area that needs to be targeted. It's the
Yeah.
most troubled age.
They need an
range.
outlet.
Influence.
They need an
Yes.
outlet.
Yeah.
They need a creative outlet, and that's the goal for SISOPA, is to provide them with that creative outlet in those 7 pillars that I've created.
And the great thing about it is because you are who you are and you have the heart that you have, it will be a safe place
Absolutely.
for them to be able to come and escape from whatever's outside during the time they're in the walls, and that's going to be a beautiful space.
Yeah.
I seen what he done when he took over, and he ain't done yet, but I just know what he's done so far with this. Yeah, I know that's gonna be the spot to be. So yeah, it's a pleasure working with you, and I just hope to have more years working with you, and I wish you much success in your endeavors.
Thank you, Frost. I appreciate that. It's a pleasure working with you too. It's a pleasure being the butt of some of my jokes too, man. You got thick skin.
He the black Rodney Dangerfield. He don't get no respect.
Yeah, he be sneak dissing to me too. He be throwing his
He
little
be
jabs
taking
at
some
me.
little, and then trying to quickly follow up with no shots fired. Oh no, you know what you're saying. That's why you say no.
I mean, I can't get back. I can never get back.
Well, I definitely appreciate you coming out and being a guest on the show. I'm not gonna even lie. I was a little bit nervous about interviewing the one and the only Mr. Sean Anthony.
It wasn't that bad. was
Live
it?
on air, but it wasn't. It was not bad at all.
You had some great questions. I really appreciate you taking the time to think of those questions and put them together. And again, I apologize for the schedule conflict that happened at the last minute last week. I know we were set to do this Friday. I had every intention on being here, but when that money calls.
Well, no,
Yeah, we all knew.
No, I get it. You
I'll
know,
get back at you later another time.
if you're in this field and you're in this industry, you have to understand that schedule changes happen at the drop of the dime. You got to be able to pivot and shift. If you can't, this is not the field for you.
And out of respect, I hit y'all up soon as.
Yes, you did.
Right.
You did. You definitely did. We were able to coordinate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So thank you to your followers. Follow me on TikTok. I need some
Yes,
TikToks.
the Sean Anthony. Well, Sean Anthony Live
Yeah.
on TikTok.
Spell my name right.
Yes, spell it. It's SEAN.
Yeah.
So
That's
get it right.
Sean Anthony Live on all platforms. On Sean Anthony Live on all platforms. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
Yes, he's on the TikTok now.
On X, Twitter, I'm Sean _Anthony. Sean _Anthony.
He ain't live on Twitter, y'all.
But when you put Sean Anthony Live in on Twitter, you'll see my name pop up. My account gonna pop up, okay? It's gonna pop up. And Flow of Wisdom is on all platforms too, except for TikTok. Somebody took my name. Somebody has my name on TikTok.
Ooh.
Flow of Wisdom. So I need to really do a due diligence because I own the trademark to Flow of Wisdom.
Ooh.
But Flow of Wisdom, yo, follow my YouTube channel. If you want to go down a rabbit hole,
I'm gonna have to follow the YouTube channel. We
Flow
know
of
how I
Wisdom.
like the rabbit holes.
go follow my rabbit hole.
Well, no,
Flow of
because
Wisdom.
that's why Frost always give me topics, y'all, different topics, because he knows I'll go down the rabbit hole and look for everything.
Oh, I go deep on Flow of Wisdom. I got over 800 videos. I got over 10,000 subscribers. Got over millions of views on the channel. I got content on there hours and hours and hours. So subscribe to Flow of Wisdom. Again, I just relaunched the podcast, the official all new podcast, Flow of Wisdom, on all wherever you get your podcasts. You know, Flow of Wisdom.
Yeah, and that Female Hustler 1 and 2 is on Tubi. I caught them the other day.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, snap. Okay, I'm going to check that out.
Did you enjoy it?
I did.
How'd I do?
You did bad.
Why you do that? She said her voice going up. That means she lying.
No, I'm not.
She did right.
No. If I
teasing,
thought you
I'm
did bad, I would tell you. I'd be like, I wouldn't have nothing to say. See, when my voice goes high, it's because I'm excited and happy.
Okay.
If you don't hear nothing, then I'm like,
Oh, so that's how you be playing me, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, do I do that to you often?
Yeah.
See, we going low with you.
I don't know.
But,
That's great.
That's funny.
So, right quick, why should a person not stop doing what they're doing?
Why should they not stop?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, if you're not growing, you're dying. Like why not continue that you finish something that you started? Is that what you're saying? Why should somebody
Because
not?
I mean, some people would stop stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'd be like, "Well, why did you stop?" And they're like, "I got tired." What was your reason for getting into
Well,
it?
that's the question. That's the question. What's the real reason then?
Right.
And if your intentions was not from a good space or from a disingenuous space, then yeah, it's not going to last.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
What's your why?
Only the real, yeah. What is your why? That the true, real things are going to sustain. You know what I mean?
And you got to ask yourself, what's the why when it comes to the hard part? Because giving up is easy. It's sticking to it that takes the work.
Yeah.
Commitment.
Getting through those obstacles.
But the reward you get at the end of it that you successfully finish, that's,
And being here at this school, some people could have went to the line on school or they go to some other school.
You mean went online?
No, what I'm saying, some people could went to another school
Right.
and that school is all online.
Yes.
But you don't get to meet people like the Sean Anthony or some of the other great people that work here or some of the people that he brings in to speak.
But there's a difference with online as compared to in person. Person
You
is
guys get
personable, and you can actually get the interaction and the support that you need. Whereas online, sometimes it feels like you are flying solo, even if you have the constant support and can email. There's something different with being in person.
Yeah. Plus, there's those opportunities.
Oh, absolutely.
At the Ohio Media School, thanks to Mr. The Sean Anthony, he gave us a lot of opportunities, lots. This summer, boy, you don't know. You ain't from Columbus. We out here. We in these streets.
We outside.
Yeah, we outside.
Yeah.
We outside. But it's been fun, and we
gotta run.
It's been a pleasure talking with you and learning new things.
Thank you so
about
much.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And,
guys.
who do we have on Friday?
Oh, on Friday, y'all, we have the comics from MPS See, so if you want to see me literally fall out on the floor and
Oh,
die,